this event. It's a community sharing event, and he's so kind to initiate this. I think it's great. So let me make an introduction to Selim. So Selim Kangeldi is the CEO and co-founder of Anyway, and a Web3 project called Udao. Udao is a groundbreaking online learning platform that merges LinkedIn, the best of LinkedIn and Coursera together with blockchain technology and connecting talents with organizations for their next career step. The platform has successfully launched its token, now listed on Gate.io and MEXC. So his academic background includes studying physics in the ETH Zurich and began his professional career as a technical consultant at IBM before reskilling into as an AI engineer a decade ago. So he entered the blockchain industry since 2017 and has been a keynote speaker and delivering keynotes and presentations and participating in panel discussions in various AI industry events. And then maybe you guys already know me. My name is Yasi Zhang. I'm the founder of Market, a Web3 marketing agency, and co-chair of Crypto Value Association Startup Working Group. And also, I'm also a startup coach. And in this space, I'm very interested in connecting people with each other and helping startups to learn more from others' experiences. Therefore, we have today's session. Selim is going to share his experiences with Launchpads, and I'm going to pass the stage to Selim. And then at the end, we will take the questions. So meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can just write it in the chat. And then at the end of the presentation, we will pick them up and he will answer them. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Yasi. So let me share the presentation and thank you for the nice introduction. So just, I'm just going to share and you tell me when you see presentation mode. So I hope you see it. Perfect.
It's all good, yeah.
How to raise money with Launchpads for your Web3 project. That's all about today. So for my very first Web3 project, Yasi already introduced it. I've raised roughly $4 million. But the hard thing is, I've worked a lot of times, more than 100 hours a week. So, and you will know why. I will tell you also about that. And my goal for you is that you have the know-how and an execution guide of how to raise money with Launchpad. And by working just 40 to 60 hours, let's say. Okay. So now Yasi already introduced myself. I studied physics. I reskilled myself 10 years ago to be an AI engineer and the CEO of Anyway and the project, the Web3 project, Udao. I have taken Udao, let's say, from the idea to the global exchange, to global exchanges, Gate.io and MEXC. And I've also, let's say, some other projects, helped some other projects to launch their token. This is where my experiences are regarding Launchpad. I've been in contact with about, up to 50 Launchpads, made different kind of experience, and this is what I want to tell you today. So it's structured like that I just give you an overview about the Udao, about our Web3 project, that you understand, okay, what's the reference case, because that you can put that into contrast. It's different when you raise for a meme token or for another project, and that's why just that you know the frame exactly. Then I want to go and tell you a bit more about our experience regarding the Launchpad ecosystem and all the incentives and who wants what and why, because this is also very important. The third point would be, what do you really need to do in the end to raise money with Launchpad? And at the end, some best practice, some pitfalls, and so on, some lessons learned that we have done on Udao's side. Great. So let us start by Udao. So basically, Yasi, you have very well presented Udao. What's Udao? In a nutshell, it's like LinkedIn meets Coursera on the blockchain. It's an AI career platform where you learn skills and where you find the right job, and it's tailored for you, very individualized. Then you see also the third point here, incentivize people. This is about the token comes into play, but that's not the only thing. Exactly. So why did we choose UDAO like that? So why did we see a big use case, a big business? The reason is that we will have until 2030 1 billion people who need to reskill. People need to reskill because at the moment the technological advancement puts pressure on the skills, that the skills are changing within the next few years, and this will just increase. That within the next 3 to 5 years, 50% of the skills will be out of date or automated with AI. Exactly. On the same time, we have many organizations who don't find the right skilled people. So it's a problem of demand and supply of skilled worker, and what the market really is demanding. Because there was a study, let's say, some months ago from Forbes, that in the US, half of their people, half of the graduates that just graduated say, I don't have the skills to be competitive for the organizations. I don't feel that I have a chance to compete somehow. And this somehow is true, and just puts more emphasis on that we have a mismatch of demand and supply. Exactly. So this is just a problem slide, so we don't need to go deeper into that. But the big thing is that the important thing is that you understand, okay, where are we at and what are we doing? We bring recruiting and learning skills together. So the ecosystem mainly looks like that. We have on the left side the education technology marketplace, let's say the Coursera marketplace, where talents learn the skills they need for their career, and on the right side they get matched to organizations that need their skills. And UDAO focus on job relevant skills and not on basic education. That's the main focus about it. Now let's go to the business model. The business model is, we have two main revenue streams. It's very simplified. On the left side, on the education technology side, we have the B2C revenue streams, where we take a fee from the courses they've taken and so on, because it's a marketplace. Educators put their learning on the marketplace. Now on the right side is the B2B revenue stream from organizations. They pay for job posting, for AI recruiting services. For example, we also come with AI services like an organization that says, okay, I search a cybersecurity specialist, and then UDAO helps you to formulate, because maybe you are inexperienced in what a cybersecurity specialist needs to do as a small and medium enterprise. And then you have directly a job post and can modify it according to your need, and see a short list of qualified people on the UDAO that suits to your position. And with the help of AI, you can even go one step further and have a first qualification check of the people, to have a qualified shortlist for your second interview within days instead of weeks. So I hope this is just within 5 minutes approximately what UDAO is. Now this is the platform, and the token, there is a token. This token is used, it is coupled to this business model. The liquidity pool is talking to this a business model, and we use different kind of, let's say, benefits. For example, as an organization, if you have some certain amount of tokens, you can do job posts for free and so on. So there is a benefit in having the token and different kind of utilities. We don't need to go deeper into that, just that you understand. Okay, this is UDAO. Maybe any questions to that? I said no question, all the questions at the back, but maybe for the reference case, if there is a question, you can also already ask some question right now. Okay, now we have this UDAO. We all started at this idea of implementing that. Now, from the idea to realization, we need money. We need we need money to. This is like oil for the engine. So let's raise money. Exactly. And to launch a project and raise money, we need to understand what is the minimum viable ecosystem and how does everything work, what are the mechanisms and the incentives of this ecosystem when it comes to launchpads, especially. So now look at that. The minimum viable ecosystem for Launchpad is mainly the project itself. On the left side, Yudao just took this reference case. Then we have the Launchpad. This is what's all about in this presentation. And then we have the exchanges, because very simple said, the project sells token through a Launchpad that will be traded later on the exchange. Okay. So, okay, and now what are our incentives as a project? Our incentives are, we want to make money. We need to raise money. That was our goal. And what is the incentive of the crypto launchpad? Let's not be idealistic. So it's also making money. And what's the incentive of the exchange? You know what I want to say. It's also about making money. So what do we have in common? We all love money. Everything is built on that we want to make money. That is very important to understand. And now, where does this money come from? So the source of the money is the investor, the token buyer. Exactly. And now, what is his main problem when he wants to invest in a new project? Because he also wants to make money. So the thing is that, yeah, he lost money too. How does investor, how does he make money? He makes money in the way that he invests in a high return on investment project. That is the way he makes money. And he has the problem now, okay, there are a lot of projects. Which project is high potential and which project is a scam or which has low potential? This is what he doesn't really understand, because there are plenty of new projects. Exactly. But important is, this is the source for making money of the Launchpad, the exchange, and the project. So we need to satisfy his needs. And now the question is, can somebody help him with the investment decision, where to invest? And this is exactly where a Launchpad comes into play, because a Launchpad's business model is to qualify the best projects for these investors. Okay, so as I said, a Launchpad qualifies new project for investors. So, and how exactly? We know that everyone wants to make money. And by the way, before I launched my very first token with Yudao, I was a very idealistic guy, and I realized, okay, the language here in the crypto space is money, as you realize. Now, okay, back to the point. So, how does a Launchpad make money? Maybe this seems obvious to you, but I just want to bring everyone on the same page. Okay, so a Launchpad sells tokens for the project to their investors, and they mainly make money with success fee. I think this is, I don't know, but for sure you know that. And the success fee is, for those who don't know, is, I would say, we can say it's always about 10%. And sometimes you have an upfront payment, sometimes you pay it after the raise, and there are different terms, but it all ends up around 10%. Some lower, some higher. Exactly. And of course, there are side business models with some Launchpad that want to sell you some services. Yeah, we do a post on for our investors that can buy and so on. Exactly. So maybe they will charge you an extra on that. Then there are some KOLs they want to have and so on. So, but the main thing is the success fee. Exactly. Okay. So their mission, the mission of the Launchpad is to bring the best projects with high return on investments on their launchpads with the target to attract many investors that trust them and buy tokens, because 10%, in the end, 10% of every sold sold token end up in their pockets, in the launchpad's pocket. Exactly. That's how they make money. And yeah, again, summary. It's a bit provocative mention. So the main task for the Launchpad is to qualify whether you are the potential project that can fill the pockets of their investors. Yeah, exactly. So let's move on. So now the question is, how does a Launchpad qualify your project? So from the big picture, everyone wants to have money. We're talking now about the Launchpad. The Launchpad makes money with success fee. What does he need to do for that? He needs to qualify the best projects. And now we are with okay, how do they qualify your project? Okay. So I go now just to give you an overview what they look about, and then we go again through it with some more, let's say, more meat flesh on the bone. Okay, so they look mainly they look at your project. Let's call it. I called it project fundamentals. They look at your product, at your business model, tokenomics, and the partner you have. Okay, so for example, on UDAO, it was, okay, you have a platform, you have a UDAO platform, then what is your problem, and so on. Business model, you have also seen the ecosystem and how the revenue streams are. Token and tokenomics, I didn't show you that, but this is somehow obvious, and I think all of you know what I mean by that. And then, of course, partners, because they see, okay, partners somehow qualify. If you can talk about IBM is your partner, as it was for in our case, this is something that they really like. Now, the second thing is your socials. This is very important. So they look at your Twitter profile, Twitter X, former X. This is one of the most important ones. Then Discord and Telegram. I would say those are the three most important for them. It was a long time ago. It still is. I think it will change a bit in the future, but as of now, as of my experience, my perception, it is still like that. Of course, optional Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and whether you have some brand ambassadors. This is about your socials and community. Then let's move on to investment fundamentals. So they look at your fully diluted valuation. So what is your fully diluted valuation? So when all the tokens are unlocked and so on, maybe you don't have a limited supply exactly, but this is mainly what they're asking you. Then the initial market cap, what's at TGE, how much market capitalization do you have? What are the unlocks schedules of your tokenomics? And also here in this aspect, what are the vestings, the cliffs for your ICO participants? I just called it ICO for right now. Mainly IDO, but let's for sake of simplicity, I always talked about ICO. Then they look at your prices for the ICO and the listing. So what is your listing pricing strategy? What is your ICO's pricing strategy? Do you go with refund option or not? Mainly this will be dictated by the Launchpad, or they have two models to go with. And how much money did you raise previously? Then, it's just how I called it, the Burger King strategy. Burger King's strategy was that they just checked where are the McDonald's stores. Okay, McDonald's put a lot of money to evaluate where is the best place, and there is a great store we can build next to McDonald's. Let's build it there, because they have done their research. And this is the same here. So do you have confirmed exchanges and launchpads? So exactly. They just checking that. I call it the Burger King strategy, and this is really something they're looking at. And the last thing, number 5, is timing. And timing depends on two things. So what is the market sentiment of the whole crypto industry right now? What is the market sentiment for new tokens, for altcoins, and so on? But this, and then is the time right for your project? I don't know, maybe you have something in healthcare, you have an infrastructure project, a meme token, or whatever. So what is the, is it the right timing also for your project? Exactly. So this is just theory. And now let's go in, okay, what does that really mean? Because in many application forms of Launchpad, because they have their standard application forms and so on, you need to fill mainly what I just wrote you now. Those are, like, let's say, the factors they're looking at, and they're evaluating whether you are a good project or not good project. Those are, let's say, the drivers of how they qualify projects. Exactly. Mainly they will, if you do it with an application form, then you have a meeting, then they ask you, they evaluate whether you really understand what you have written exactly, and then there's a procedure that takes 2 to 3 weeks at least to review after the meeting. That's was mostly it at my time, and they come back to you. Exactly. And during high season time, it is difficult sometimes with application forms, because then you need to have the network to the people. Otherwise, you can maybe wait too long until they respond, especially when you go to higher ranked launchpads. So now let's make it more clear. Project fundamentals again. I just said before what you need to do, what they ask for, and now mainly this is about make a good pitch and a good white paper. And here's just written what you need to focus, because if they qualify you also during a meeting, it's essentially what they want to know. Of course, you can do a pitch and white paper. There are so many things you need to write down, but mainly they want to hear, do you have a clear problem you're solving, and what's your vision related to that? Where is your competition and differentiation? Because there's so many saying, okay, I want to change the world, I'm revolutionizing this and that, revolutionizing social networks or whatever. Exactly. And they want to understand whether you really know what you're doing, or you just have done a pitch with ChatGPT, for example. Exactly. Now, they also want to understand your business model. Remember when I showed you from UDAO how we make money, how this is connected, and so on. So this is mainly that, and also the revenue streams. How is it flowing? Do you have a pricing strategy, and so on? What are your partners? Exactly. What are your current investors? Many will ask you, okay, how is the cap table? Who invested what money in which form? They sometimes really want to know everything. Just be aware of it. Think about whether you want to disclose it or not. So yeah, but just be aware that they sometimes really ask you for everything, for really detailed things. For some, we didn't disclose really, let's say, everything. And then, of course, the implementation plan. Yeah, you can have a great idea and so on, but an implementation plan, go-to-market plan, just gives the feeling that, yeah, they really know what they are doing. Exactly. By the way, if you're raising money before raising money with Launchpad, this is anyway what you need to do. So, exactly. And this is mainly in your pitch, and some aspects here are in the white paper too. Exactly. Now, yeah, some tips. Be ready to pitch your project or product or whatever in 5 to 10 minutes, because nobody wants to listen. Also in such calls, you need to imagine someone who qualifies a project for their Launchpad. Those are also just humans, and they listen to pitches. They are sometimes tired or whatever, have concentration issues because they are tired or something. So be ready to make it very clear, very easy in 5 to 10 minutes. Otherwise, nobody will listen to it, and they don't know how to tell it to their friends, but they just hear it, you know? Exactly. And yeah, also something is, don't expect that the people read your white paper, even though you give them the link and so on. In the end, we have given everyone the white paper, but I would say nobody have read it. They just have looked at it. Okay, what they write about, maybe a 2-minute check, or I don't know exactly. Now, I would also say when you want to go with tier 3, tier 2 launch pads, a reasonable pitch is okay. So yeah, it don't need to be really, really like you were raising money with VCs. But when you talk to tier 1, they really have somehow, they look in the same way to you as a VC would invest money. Exactly. That's why you really need to have a great pitch. So now to your socials. As I said, Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. And here, what they look at how many followers do you have and what's the engagement. And regarding followers, it's about, let's say, I would say there are like 3 levels. So the entry level for that they speaking to you is about, yeah, that you're in the thousands to 10,000 followers. You need to have that. Exactly. And you are a great project if you reach about between 10 to 50, so 25,000, let's say, followers. And you are really, really one of a shining star if you go over 50,000 followers. And, you know, followers is not the only thing, so engagement is the other things. They mostly qualify whether you have one KPI of that I often hear is about that you have 10%, at least 10% view on 10% view of how many followers you have. So if you have 50,000 followers, you have 5,000 views per post. Exactly. So I would say this is something that is important to them, and they look on the other engagement like retweeting, comments, likes, and so on. And it's very obvious, let's say, from the outside that you understand, okay, are those fake followers or not fake followers? Because yeah, give me some $100 and I can make you 50,000 followers if you like. Exactly. So, but this is not what it should be like, let's say. Exactly. Then when it comes to Discord and Telegram, the numbers are a bit different. So already having 5,000 Discord or Telegram members is already a good sign. Having 10,000 is already like you're a good project. Over 10 is already, yeah, this is great. And the other thing, how they evaluated your social communities, how many website traffic do you have, how many messages per hour in your chats, and so on. Exactly. So also here, I would say this is just how I see it, the experience for reaching real 50,000 followers. You need at least 3 to 6 months for that. And the costs is about $50,000, I would say, on average. Maybe you can also do it for 30,000. Maybe you need 200,000. And the cost driver maybe is mainly is ignorance. So that you think, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna try, or yeah, this could work, and so you really need to have a proper strategy. And so this is where you need to work with experts or have an expert on your board, let's say, in your team. This is important. Otherwise, you will end up paying $200,000 for real 50,000 followers. Those are just my numbers. Exactly. Maybe some see the world completely different, but this is how I see it. Okay. So investment fundamentals. This is also very interesting. So you need to have a reasonable valuation and tokenomics. As I said, they look, what is your fully diluted value? What is initial market capitalization? And those are not just numbers. So they want to see initial market cap is what is at the beginning in the market, and fully diluted is what is if every token is on the market in the future that is vested, cliffs are over. This is the fully diluted valuation with the pricing. So they're looking, okay, how is the ratio between your initial market cap and fully diluted market cap? A good ratio is about 1 to 2% at least. So otherwise, investors get diluted, and yeah, you know, they don't want to get their investors to get diluted. Exactly. This is why this is an important KPI. Another important KPI is that your fully diluted valuation is not too high. Otherwise, this is also a way of dilution. So in the past, there were many projects with a fully diluted valuation of $1 billion, and they came in with an initial market capitalization of 500,000. Say, yeah, we have a small market capitalization, 500,000. It can go. The leverage is very high, but the thing is that there were a lot of tokens coming. Exactly, and that's why fully diluted valuation is something they really look stronger into that number than before. I would say this changed exactly at this time when we launched our project. Right now, there are some launchpads who say if you have a valuation over 20 to 30 millions fully diluted, we don't want to go with you. So this is just be prepared for that. That's, let's say, the magic maximum is what I experienced 30 million. It at least was some months ago. Okay, then they check what is your ICO price, what is your listing price of this is of course that you price higher at the exchange and at the ICO. What are and they check also what are the previous rounds and valuations. So maybe you have seeds round, you have pre-sales done, you have sold via soft contracts, simple agreement of future tokens for future tokens. And so they want to see, okay, what is the valuation? What was the valuation for them? How much is their ROI? What are their cliffs? What are their vestings? So they want to legitimize whether you somehow give preferences to previous people. For example, let's imagine that you want to have an ICO price of 1 or 10 cents, and at seed, people bought at 1 cent. So they have already an ROI of 10x, and they have TGE 10%. So this means they can sell all the tokens and have their money back. So the Launchpad knows, and the investor of the Launchpad knows, okay, we immediately will have sell pressure, and they will take out their money right from the beginning. So you need to do really the calculation of how to do that. So you should not give preferences to a group of people over the other. So this is obvious. You can see that, and Launchpad look into that exactly. They also look about, okay, how much do you give, or how much do you give to my investors as a Launchpad. So for example, how much is non-vested, how much is vested, and how are the vesting terms, and mainly the average. I would say, if I just put that out of my head, is about 25% TGE and then 4 months cliff. I would say this is let's say the average of it. They just want to also legitimize that there is not too much sales pressure from people from previous rounds. So in fact, that people from previous rounds will sell their token at TGE, while the others have bought tokens from the investors, because selling pressure drives down the price in the end. Exactly. So let's move on. Another thing from investment fundamentals that they will ask you is, how much money did you raise, and why are they interested in that? They want to see what is your financial ability to manage sales pressure. Exactly. And so the next question they have is, okay, what is your intent? How much do you bring to the liquidity pool, so on the exchanges. So exactly, of course, this depends on your market maker model, whether you have a loan model or retainer, but yeah, with retainer, of course, they want to know what is the liquidity that you put in here, and whether they see, okay, this sounds reasonable or this is too low for the money you want to raise. Because and also for the online schedules. Here also, I would say a good thing on average is to have 50% of the potential sales pressure at TGE out of non-vested tokens needs to be in your liquidity pool. That's how I would say on average. But we are here in the crypto space. It really much depends on the timing. This will change a lot. So whether it's bullish or bearish, but on average, just that you have an average that you see, okay, it's 1%, 50%, or are we talking about 200%? Great. So let's move on. So now, before I said, yeah, the McDonald's, they have the Burger King strategy. Now, how to be a McDonald's? How to be in the right McDonald's is that you can say, I already confirmed with great launchpads. And then let's say a strategy could also be, because this was a strategy we have had at UDAO, you climb up tier by tier. You partner with tier 3, then you go to tier 2, then you go to tier 1. Exactly. And yeah, also what I have written here, often launchpads don't like tier 4. So they don't like very low ranked launchpads, because sometimes there are dubious launchpads and they don't want to have their brand with a project that also goes with such a kind of launchpad. So be aware in partnering up at very early with launchpads, just to say, oh, okay, yeah, I raise here 100,000, let's move on, and so on. Exactly. So the duration also here for this whole climb up the ladder, I would say also 2 to 3 months. It's conservative, but yeah, just that you have the right planning here. And same here, cost and time driver is ignorance and missing network. Exactly. And maybe also another tip is that how do they qualify that you confirmed? So I can say, yeah, I confirmed with XYZ, but yeah, you could lie. So the thing is that they want to see whether you confirm through your social media, and they also confirm through their social media that they partner with you or they launch your project. So that's mainly the thing, how they qualify it. So have an eye on that they announce it through social media, through their accounts. This is or on their website, on their Launchpad. This is how they qualify it. Exactly. Now, climb up the right ladder. This means there are different kind of launchpads. Some launchpads focus more on meme tokens, some on DeFi projects, some more on infrastructure projects. So do your homework regarding that. Now, the next thing is market sentiment. So what does that mean? Market sentiment, you evaluate mainly through the fear and greed index. And of course, yeah, this is the easy thing. So don't waste too much time on that. And individual timing. So for example, yeah, altcoin season index, I don't know whether you know that. This means whether people are investing more in Bitcoin or more in the altcoin. So if you are a new project and there is more of fear, and on top, people are tend more to buy Bitcoin instead of altcoin, this is not a good timing. Exactly. Then also about, yeah, meme token, DeFi, and so on. So exactly, it was a really meme token time. And for that, branding is key, that you understand, okay, where is the market going? What does the market want? And that you adjust your brand accordingly. Now let's come to the next slide. This is also not a final list, and this is just a list that we have. I have seen that somewhere in our notes, and it also was 6 months ago. So this, of course, changed, but some might be interested into it. I just gave here a view of it. And you see, I have written tier 1 and tier 1 plus, so a bit, people, Launchpad that say, yeah, I'm tier 1, but are not maybe seen really as tier 1, so in between a bit, and also for tier 2. Exactly. This is just a way how we might classify it. Exactly. So now let's go back to UDAO and its launchpads. How this was for UDAO. So why was UDAO interesting for launchpads? So when it comes to the project fundamentals, those are all the aspects that I mentioned before, how they qualify. So we, what they also liked is we were Swiss-based, we had regulation in place, we have talked to FINMA and so on. We had a good pitch, we had a platform that works, we could show them, you can already learn, and so on. So exactly, this was something important to them. Then socials and community, we had about 30,000 Twitter followers, the same for Discord and Telegram. Regarding investment fundamentals, we have already raised more than, not more, about $3 million, I would say. Without launchpads, we had regarding tokenomics, fully diluted valuation, initial market capitalization, we have an approved setup also that works with a player that somehow did like their audit on that. Exactly. And then our McDonald's story is that we climbed up the ladder from Comunitas. This was our very first launchpad, and I have made a good experience with Comunitas. So because they were really helping. This was just my experience, and we had two big exchanges, Gate.io and Maxi. And timing was also seen at this point as a very great timing. So wow, you want to launch around the halving, the Bitcoin halving. Everyone was excited about this time, let's say. And exactly. We could say timing wise, it was also it was a bit meme token time, but on the other way, everyone talked about skills economy. So regarding skills economy, regarding timing of the market sentiment, it was great. Exactly. Now, what was our outcome? We confirmed with DAO Maker, Engine Starter, ATHpad, Finceptor, and Comunitas. So we climbed up the ladder here, and let's say this is how it looked like. And we have had a huge backup with GameFi, Red Kite, and so on. So we had a volume of 1.77 million and the potential to increase the launch because everyone wanted to go with us for more than $3 million. And the list of exchange, as I said, was this. Now, next slide is hard. It was hard for us. The reality was we just launched with the list, with this list that we had with Comunitas. And we had contracts with everyone, just at least with the confirmed ones. And the volume that we raised was around 1 million. I need to calculate, but around a bit less. Exactly. So the reality was that we needed to reallocate because we only had Comunitas, and Comunitas had I think 200,000. So we needed to reallocate 2 weeks before our launch to get at least $1 million. This is when the 100 hours per week or even more came into place. So what went wrong? Exactly. So this is just hard reality. And when you look from the outside to such project, you don't see that. Exactly. So timing, market sentiment. Everyone was hyping about Bitcoin halving and so on, but the market sentiment in crypto, this can change within weeks, and this just did. yeah, we want to do let's say 2 weeks before it was great time, and then it was like shit time. Exactly. And now the launchpads, they said to us, okay, let's postpone the launch. Let's shift the launch, because what is their interest? Yeah, just launch when my investors have a high return on investment. And what is the, let's say, the interest of the project? I need money for my project. And if I wait, since we are a project that does a real project, a real platform, we have fixed costs every month. So we needed to balance what is better, to have a better launch, or and to pay a lot to come to this point, and you don't know when is the good time, or you just launch. And we decided for ourselves just to launch. It was a hard decision, but it was the right decision, because since the last 3 months, the time was better. It was even worse. So exactly. And those are really the risks that you don't need to underestimate, such kind of risks. And we just did. We just underestimated that. Then another thing that you don't need to forget is, I just also a bit provocative, greedy launchpads. There was especially one that was trying to change the terms and requirements right before we launched, just to squeeze out the most. So yeah, we did that. Basically, it was about, yeah, we changed terms like that. Do you want to come to my country? I don't name it. And have a legal case right before your IDO? I think you don't. Okay, yeah, and that's also right. So and this was even though we have had a signed contract and so on, but it was just a reality. And this is also something that nobody talks about. So this is also risk management that you should care about, having everything under your control. And exactly. Yeah. So yeah, if you need more information on that, you can just talk to me. Okay, some lessons learned. Timing is everything in crypto space, and there are black swans. So with you know what a black swan is, right? There was a book, so that unexpected things might occur and this might change everything. And black swans in our case was also yeah, I forgot to mention that some weeks before we launched, there was a Binance report that hit the market, and it was about that fully diluted valuation shouldn't be higher than 30 million, like this. that many projects have too high fully diluted valuation, and we were a bit above that. So that's why also nobody could expect that this could happen. Exactly. And then the fourth lesson learned is focus on trustful launchpads that support you. Some launchpad might shine, but yeah, it's you need to reach your goal, exactly, and they shine because they make money for their investors, exactly. And yeah, also what I say, tier one, of course they're good good launchpads, but they have a lot of projects they want to go with them, so they mainly optimize for their investors. That's also something you need to know, exactly. Because yeah, what I also realize is the language they are speaking is money, not idealism or yeah, you're a good guy. Exactly. So now I want to come to the point. Some more. This was about UDAO, and now some more best practices and pitfalls to when it comes to raise money versus making money, because this is a bit different. Exactly. And now, important is I called it do your homework. So because there are always different ways and different routes how to raise money, and you need to know when, how and how much you raise. You can raise money with equity if you have a company for it. You can raise with soft contracts, with pre-sales, ICOs, token liquidation afterwards with your business model that somehow maybe I don't know when it comes. So be important, and mainly the answer on when, how, and how much is driven by your implementation plan. Of course, it sounds great. Yeah, I want to raise 10 million or whatever, but yeah, there are always pros and cons for every round. And yeah, if you don't understand the differences of how to raise money in these different kind of rounds, make sure that you have someone in your team or in your board that does, because this is very fundamental. Okay, then raise purposeful. So how much money do you need to raise? This is, and don't raise too much. I want to point out that because raising money with Launchpad is costly, because you're giving away tokens at a cheap price, at a cheaper price, when you expect that your token value is growing, and you pay 10% for it. And so if they are selling and they can sell very early the token, maybe I don't know how you vesting schedule or how you manage that. You need to manage that very well, that you don't end up having less money after the race than before the race. This is very important. And if you raise too much, think about economy of scarcity. So everyone can buy your token at Launchpad. So who is going to buy it at the exchange? So if there is no demand and there are just people who want to sell it to make money, this is a lot of sales pressure you need to manage. This is very important. So be sure that you have really the plan how much you raise, because if you raise too less, it has no effect. So don't think about raising money with a Launchpad. So there is an optimum and equilibrium, and you need really to understand where it is. And this is not just a guess. So you really need to have to do your calculation for that. Okay, then evaluation and qualification. So you need, important is that you need to know the deal. So as I said, I already said you, mainly it's 10% of the success fee, as a success fee. And yeah, don't believe everything they're just telling you. So check the terms, because we have had a lot of discussion with those kind of people. Yeah, they already hyping you, give you a good feeling, but then look at the contract, because there is no idealism. Don't believe in they are acting idealistic. They are acting, as I said, money is the language. And so check the terms, what they're writing in their contract, because they don't point out to them special terms they write in their contract. You need to find them. And we changed every contract. We changed every contract. So there was no contract. We said, okay, yeah, let's go with that. Exactly. And qualify also, what is their reach? What is their audience? How much did they previously raise? And don't get bland that their projects always sold out, because if you have refunds rates, what's very common today, it's a no-brainer for investor that you invest, because you have a refund option. So you just invest and can decide later on. Exactly. And that's also how they give you a good feeling about, yeah, all projects are always sold out. And yeah, there are some other stories I also don't want to mention here. Maybe you can, if you're interested, you can talk to me. Exactly. Then don't take every deal. So make sure, especially, yeah, look at it that way. So if they gonna ask you the success fee of how much they raise before the refund option, this could be this could cost you even money to raise, just from that point of view. So for example, yeah, if you have a 95% refund rate and exactly, and you pay success fee on the 100% that was raised without the refund option, so yeah, you mainly pay money. Exactly. And yeah, so also the price levels. So some will ask you, yeah, you need to stay above some price levels. You need to manage that with your market maker. Otherwise, we hold the money back. And so be sure also do your calculations here whether this is something you want to do or you don't want to do. Because holding up to a certain level, managing sales pressure is direct cost for you or for your market maker. Depends on your model, but nobody will just burn his money for you. Also in the loan model now. Exactly. So this is something you really need to also care about, and of course there are some special terms. For example, yeah, they want to couple. Yeah, just look at if they come with special term, just check whether it makes sense or not. Just don't go and take every deal just because, yeah, this could be a great launchpad and yeah, they have a good reach and so on. Especially this is important. So let's move on. Don't get scammed. I think this is what you already experienced. So there are many scammers around, and you need to find the real contacts, because many are coming to you or talking to you, and here verification is key. And yeah, also they have really good way of how to scam you. So be sure that you verify through different channels. For example, yeah, can you write me through your social media account to my social media account, because yeah, that they have access to both. The probability is lower that there is something. Exactly. Then good versus bad project, also a bit provocative, but Launchpad are also projects. They also have followers. They also want to shine and legitimate their also their reach and whether they are real, what they are doing, and so on. Look through their social, how I call it. The next point is raising money with KOLs. So this is possible. So you can also raising money with influencers. But I would say mainly this depends also on market sentiment. So they're also making the math. They say, okay, I take the token in a bullish market, and I will take the token for free in a bearish market or in a neutral market. So and often if you raise money with KOLs in CoinGecko and so on, this appears as they have raised money, but in the end they have just give it away and they deliver service for this kind of money. But yeah, this is not the topic here. There was also a very special topic here regarding influencers, how to manage that and what to do. But just regarding raising money with KOLs, because many launchpads say, okay, you can raise also money with our KOLs, and then you will put into the direction automatically. That's why I mention it here. And they often have individual pricing, how they want to do that, but it's very also obvious in normal market they take it for free, and in a bullish market they also pay something. Exactly. So let's go to the pricing strategy. So yeah, ICO price and listing price and post-listing performance. So actually, I also want to go to that. So go 10. Everyone will ask you, go 10x. You are the next 10x project. But if you go 10x, what does that mean? For every dollar that you have raised, that is available in tokens, they take out $10 out of your liquidity pool. That is your money. Just calculate that. This is also something. So because that's why many projects go up like this, because everyone will force you to go 10x. There are all the players, the exchanges, Launchpad want you to go 10x, and you pay a lot for that when they are selling. And the investors on Launchpad, yeah, they want to make money. Short-term money is better than long-term money. So if I have, for example, let's say if I have vesting schedules, if I have 25% of the tokens at TG at where it got listed, I can immediately sell it, yes. And if it goes 4x, I will immediately sell. That's the basic math they are doing. Get out the basic, let's say, investment as fast as possible. 80% of the investors do it like that. So if you go 4x, you can be for sure that they are selling everything. And so the amount that you have raised from them, you just have paid back them, and they even have a bit more tokens. So I just want to point out some pitfalls that you really also do here, the calculations of how to do that, because going 10x and 4x is not bad, not at all. This is your target, but just be aware of, it sounds always great that you can do it, but yeah, just have a proper strategy of what you are doing and align it with your market maker. Exactly. Now, point 6 is ignore the feeling that the grass on the other side looks greener, because I lost myself. Those projects who don't die, those will write the story. And the truth about the refunds rates, nobody talks about that, because I wrote it. Everyone wants to see that, yeah, your project was so great. The Launchpad want to say, yeah, this did really great. You as a project want to say it, everyone wants to say it, because you want to maintain a good branding around what you have done. But the truth is that I have seen refund rates of 95%, but nobody knows it. It's just the team that knows it and the Launchpad. But they don't talk about it. Exactly. The same is for the transaction volume. Whoa, Gate, Maxi, they have billions of dollars per day. But yeah, if you see through it, you know how much is generated. This is also another topic. I don't should. We could talk a separate call on that. Here's about a Launchpad, and here is about that it always looks good how the other raised money, but the truth is something that is seldom that you see, and that somebody tells you how it really was. And mainly it was this pitfall mainly occurs because you haven't done your homework pretty well, and exactly, and you just want to maintain a good feeling. Okay, so now the balance game. I call it balance game. High refund rates versus money in the liquidity pool. So how can you avoid the high refund rates? It is about that you make you make a good performance. Then is when the people will keep the token. But when you have a good performance, they claim and they often also sell it. A high portion of the people will sell it. So this means that you have sales pressure of the token you just sold 5 minutes ago. Or some days ago. Exactly. And so you need to manage that, and this costs you also money. So also here, proper homework done, and a clear strategy of how to do that, and see through that. So core message, is a lot what I've said. Raising money is easy, making money is much harder. And also my message is do your homework and execute step by step, and work with people who understand what they are doing. Otherwise you end up with all those kind of pitfalls. Exactly. And if you need help, you can contact me. This is my mail and my Telegram. You can also reach out to Yasi. And this is where I would say I finish my presentation and say thank you very much for listening. I hope that I could help you a bit in what is important in raising money, and I put the focus on that you don't make mistakes that will cost you a lot. because this is very important. Raising money is easy, as you have seen with the qualification aspect that you need to do. And but making money is a bit harder, and you really need to know what you are doing on this side. Exactly.
Okay. Thank you so much, Selim, for the presentation. I think it's okay that if we can send this presentation to the group later on. Is that okay?
I can send it to you.
Yeah, great. And if we are running out of time, so if you have any questions regarding Launchpad, any topics that Selim presented today, feel free to reach out to him. I think the content is so rich and we are really short of time, but there was so much more to learn from someone's experience, especially he covered basically from A to Z for the whole project. So he is in the startup working group, Telegram. We have a Telegram group. And then if you are part of the startup working group, if you are a CVA member, you can find the link in the startup working group site. There you can join Telegram. So thank you guys so much for being here and see you in the next event. Bye-bye.